Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Mission Matters. My name is Adam Torres, and if you'd like to apply to be a guest in the show, just head on over to missionmatters.com and click on Be Our Guest to apply. All right, so today I have Pranav Dalal on the line. He's founder and CEO over at Office Beacon, and we're going to talk about building the modern workforce, AI, remote staffing, job creation, a lot going on, and Pranav is the guy. So first thing first, welcome Pranav to the show. Good to have you on.
I appreciate it. Glad to be here.
All right, so we got a lot to talk about today. We're going to cover a lot. AI is hot, work is hot. We got a lot of topics. But before we get into all of that, let's start this episode the way that we start them all, with what we like to call our Mission Matters Minute. So Pranav, at Mission Matters, our aim and our goal is to amplify stories for entrepreneurs, for executives, for experts. That's what we do. Pranav, what mission matters to you?
Well, for the last 25 years, my mission has been to help communities globally, uplift them, provide opportunities and jobs to employees, but also those opportunities transcend down to their families. And I see it, everywhere we go. It started in India 25 years ago, Philippines about 13, 14 years ago, and recently South Africa the last few years, where the unemployment rate is over 35%. And so we're making considerable headway by providing opportunities to communities. And that's the mission that really resonates with me and it drives me every single day.
So Pranav, I want to go back in time a bit here. How'd you get started in this business? Where'd all that start for you?
It was year 2000. And, I was coming out of the internet space in LA, where the internet bubble occurred and a lot of internet companies went out of business or bankrupt or just ran out of venture capital. And so I had a decision, and I decided that I wanted to pursue a services related company versus software. And I came across the opportunity of the emerging BPO or outsourcing industry in India. Immediately, read up on it, and within a week flew to India, opened an office, all within a week, hired 5 people, and came back and then tried to figure out what was my next step. So essentially I started cold calling, drumming up business, and it was the right time, right place. And I was able to really drive a lot of business very quickly, which enabled my company to flourish very, very quickly. And so it was just right time, right place. And so that's what happened 25 years ago. And since then, I've been able to, my team and I have been able to company to thousands of employees, full-time employees globally in multiple countries. And fortunately, in my opinion, without any venture capital or partners to date.
What do you think were some of the things, let's stick in the early days just a little bit longer here. What do you think are some of the things that gave you that, I don't know what the word is, whether it's perseverance, otherwise, like how did you succeed in those early days? Because that's tough. You're cold calling, you're making it happen, your team, how'd you do that?
From a personal perspective, at the same time, when I started the company, my wife at the time, she was pregnant. We were going to have our first born child, like within 2 weeks of me starting this company. Had a mortgage, had 2 car payments. And so for me, there was a lot on the line. It was a lot of risk. But the way I looked at it was there's no safety net. I had to make this happen. Worst case, I could go back to corporate life, but really I needed to make this happen. And so I think just having that mindset, that there's no safety net, that, where I had to make it work, I just had to. Yeah. And I think the timing was great. I think it was, unfortunately, it was around 9/11. And at that time, the country was sort of at a standstill, and the economy just kind of shut down for a little bit. And what actually that presented was an opportunity, because companies still needed work to get done. Yeah. To find, more effective and cost-effective, different ways to do it. And, so even in a bad time like that, great opportunity for me. And companies resonated with the opportunity very quickly. And with my background, I was able to convince some early adopters to take this on. And, they really helped us build our reputation very quickly.
Yeah. What attracted you to the space? As a business opportunity, like you mentioned one thing, so I'm guessing that was part of it, like good times or bad, like people needed, placement or needed it. Like what attracted you to the space?
Well, there's a couple of things, Adam. One is that I always analyze a competitive advantage, and so
Mm,
business opportunities. A lot of them I say no to, but when I see a business opportunity that really has a strong competitive advantage, a unique
yeah.
one, I resonate towards that. And so this one had that at the time,
Mm,
and as well coming out of the internet space before that, I was actually in a position to work with a lot of overseas software developers,
mhm,
both in India and those who came over from India to the U.S. So I had some exposure to it already, and I knew the
mm,
opportunity was going to just continue to grow as India emerged as an economy. So
mm.
those couple of factors really made me make that decision very, very quickly.
Mm. So I want to go further and I want to bring this present day. But before we do, maybe let's backtrack just for a minute and a moment or two and tell us about Office Beacon overall and the core service.
Office Beacon, let me backtrack again.
Yeah.
25. We started as a graphic service company. We
Mm,
worked with clients on their graphic design needs. I chose that just because it was a differentiator. Not many companies at all were doing that.
mm,
Then our customers started asking us to support them in different departments, from
mhm,
finance to customer service to logistics, etc. Pretty much any department within a company that could do work remotely. I decided we should be able to handle that. So instead of becoming the best, say, graphic design outsourcing company,
yeah.
we became the best staffing company for any sort of service. And having
Mm,
that shift in mindset really set us up for success, because it didn't matter what the industry was. We're in over 10 different industries, and we offer over
mm,
150 services. We became subject matter experts in every discipline or every department,
yeah.
and that actually was great, because now customers, they want a one-stop shop. Actually, they want to
Mhm,
deal with a credible company that can deliver mission, critical services.
mhm,
No matter, so if they have great experience with us in one area, they're definitely leaning on us for other areas. And over the years, that's helped us because
mm,
different industries go through economic cycles, different services even
yeah.
up and down. So we've been able to really go through those cycles and keep growing consistently because of that, the way our mindset was in terms of how we set up the company.
That culture behind it, because to be able to change core services or to be able to see the opportunity there and to want to help the clients, right? Like obviously there was a need there that you focused on. You started, as you mentioned, in graphics, and then it started to evolve. Like how did some give me some tips on that culture, because I feel like right now overall with tech and everything that's changing, a lot of other companies are kind of challenged with certain things. Of it's always a shifting landscape, but now things are maybe moving faster. So how did you kind of cultivate that culture? How'd your team do that?
I love that question, Adam. So corporate culture is very important to us, very important to me. Doing this in one country, like
Yeah.
starting a remote staffing company in one country, is hard enough, and we're in four or five now. We
I
just
know, that's what I can't even imagine. I'm like, how are you doing that?
and, and typically, companies like mine have
Mhm,
family members involved, that take different responsibility, even regionally. But I have
mhm,
no family members involved to manage the company from an operational perspective. So
mm,
these are all hired employees, hired management. But we built a culture of accountability and responsibility. And I believe that our employees believe that and feel like this is their company too. And so we're all in it together. I have regular town hall meetings every quarter with every employee participating,
yeah.
asking questions. I visit locations every year. We have a lot of social programs, a lot of engaged
Mm,
social engagement, and the transparency from top to down is very important. And that
mhm,
starts with me. And so, I'll regularly hear from employees at any level about their concerns, and I take those seriously, and we
mm,
address them. And the ones that we can effectively, and the others we work on in different ways. And so I feel like our employees believe that they're part of this, and the part of the success, part of the growth, and the growth is a big part of it, because a lot of
mm,
our employees who started maybe at entry level have gone through the ranks. A few of them have become directors of the company, like responsible for a region or a global position. We always share and want to make sure people are treated fairly. The other thing is we also have a great HR team, and they keep us honest in terms of like managing, the people side of it, and they do a great job. I mean, from making sure we have fairness and equity, and we're doing things the right way. So that's really important. And leave it up to them to guide even me on how we should be doing things, for the employees. So I'm very fortunate and grateful, for the team that we have.
So when we think about remote staffing as a whole, or really most industries right now, or I should say that I know of, I won't say every, but I'm going to say probably every, we're all being affected by AI right now. So I'm curious, obviously you've been in this space of remote staffing and helping these different types of companies for a long time. I'm curious, like what you're seeing.
The greatest AI and, sort of the adventure we're all on right now is the greatest.
I like how you say it, the adventure we're on. It's an absolute adventure.
We don't know where it's like Indiana Jones. We don't know where it's going to end up. But the way I look at it and how I've been doing it for the last several years, it's the greatest opportunity of a lifetime. I compare it to, going through the internet bubble and sort of the cycle of the late 90s and early 2000s. And I was part of that. And I saw the success of many companies, through that cycle. And I see this the exact same way. I see there's just being so many opportunities. And you would think that a company like mine, like an outsourcing company, remote staffing would be, maybe there are those that are scared about it, but I actually see it as a huge, huge opportunity where we can be on the forefront of understanding it, driving it, making our people more efficient and be able to do more with AI resources. So I've invested very heavily on the resources, meaning people and technology. People help us, on the next frontier. So we are developing our own apps. We're developing, workflows. We're developing many things to help our clients and future clients grow. And I think it's just an incredible transition that I'm looking forward to really leading my company through.
Yeah. And I've looked at it as such like an empowering tool for staff, like whether it's outsourced, whether it's or otherwise. Like, how do you think about the tool aspect of it?
The tools are critical, but they can suck up a lot of your time. There's thousands and thousands of tools out there. So we have a team that really assess tools, the security aspects, the efficiency aspects, the licensing. There's a lot of stuff in the news cycle right now about the cost of AI and how that's going to grow dramatically. So the way I look at it is, let's empower our people. Let's make sure we're very competitive with these tools, and let's make sure we have control over the tools we're using, because the cost of delivering AI software and services is going to grow. I mean, the cost of the infrastructure, it doesn't cost $20 a month. I mean, a lot of companies are pulling back now because of the credits and the cost of those, and they have to find ways to still use AI without that significant cost. So I think we're on the forefront of that. I feel pretty good about where we're at.
If there was a misunderstanding or a common, and we'll generalize for a moment or two here, that you see in your day-to-day for small business owners when it comes to AI, whether it be something specific or mindset or otherwise, like what would you say that most people kind of misunderstand?
My mindset around AI is you definitely can use it to process work and do certain things, but the public is very smart when it comes to, if you're maybe writing an email using AI or writing a social media post. Great to use tools to generate those things, but you still need the personal touch, and you still need that one-on-one, and how companies are going to achieve that are going to be really important, because consumers are very savvy. And so I'm very particular about that aspect of interactions with customers and making sure that it feels very authentic, real, and trustworthy.
I know you work with many industries in different verticals, but I know some of the large ones are insurance, healthcare, finance, property management. Within those industries and kind of what you see day to day, what excites you? It could be about technology, workforce, otherwise, like what excites you?
What excites me is that many companies don't really know what they're going to do yet with AI. So we can be a strategic advisor. We can help with assessing and analyzing those workflows. Whether a company uses us or not is up to them. But I think we're definitely in a great position with many clients and prospective clients to be able to guide and help them with achieve their goals. So I'm totally excited about that, because I think a lot of businesses and business owners are a little paralyzed about which direction to go, what to do, how to do it. But I feel very, very confident in our approach to implementing AI on top of human talent.
And when you think about like some of the industries like healthcare, finance, I mean, traditionally there, and still, of course, a lot of compliance, a lot of other like factors there, especially around data and otherwise. Like, how do you kind of work with that?
The compliance is a very important aspect. So let's say healthcare or let's take insurance. Actually, when you're writing up a policy or you have certain compliance that you have to follow when you're selling a policy. Not that we sell, but we help implement. AI definitely helps make sure that whatever's been written up is complying to whatever needs to be done. So that's a great aspect of it. But will it recommend the right policy for the person? Will it recommend configuration? You still need people for all that. Like it's just sort of raising the bar and level that employees have to actually work at, instead of handling that sort of core bottom layer. They're now having to be, more experienced, more trustworthy and knowledgeable about how to communicate with clients. And that's where we fit in. That's where we're exactly fitting in, is to help them achieve both aspects of it.
What are the we talked about some of the industries. What about sizes of companies? Like, you work with small business owners, enterprise only. Like, give us a little bit of that flavor.
I consider us to be like the Amazon of business services. And so,
that's awesome.
Yeah. So it doesn't matter the size. We're not just for enterprise. Actually, I'd say 80-90% of our clients are SMBs. And that's great, because SMBs, they need support. They need to operate like an enterprise client or company. Yeah. And we can help them do that. And, without the cost. And so we'll bring all the resources to them. We'll help them achieve their goals. And they also are great because they need to make decisions quickly. Sometimes with enterprise, it's a little bit more challenging. It takes there's a longer process for decisions. I have primarily focused on SMBs. And there's, 80% of the U.S. economy is driven by, small business owners, mid-sized business owners. So I love, and I'm also a business owner. So I love the helping others that way.
Amazing. Pranav, this has been a lot of fun having you on today, learning more about Office Beacon, your work, your thoughts on the future of the workforce and AI. A lot going on. I have to ask, what's next? What's next for you? What's next for Office Beacon?
So Office Beacon is now in its 25th year, but now
congratulations. That's a good year.
It's been quite a journey, which hopefully I'll write a book about. But I'm looking forward to the next 25. I have 3 kids. 2 of them are now joining the company. It's sort of the next generation, not only for them, but it's also the next sort of Gen 2 of Office Beacon. We have a lot of things coming out soon to help companies grow. And that's what I'm looking forward to, is helping companies grow and transition in this phase of AI. And I'm excited about that. We've got some excellent things coming out in the near future that are going to be disruptive, actually, and in a good way.
Yeah. It's amazing. What's the best way for people to follow up, to connect, and to learn more?
So there's a couple of ways. One is go to officebeacon.com. We have a contact us form. If you're interested, just reference Adam in the Mission Matters podcast, and just tell us what you want from us and how we can help you. The second way is emailing us at sales@officebeacon.com, and our team will be able to, set up a call with you. And finally, if you'd like, just reach out to me on LinkedIn and send me a message, connect with me, and I'll either direct you to the right person or help you figure out, what it is I can do to help you.
Amazing. And for everybody listening, just so you know, we'll definitely put some links in the show notes so that you can just click on the links and head right on over. And speaking of the audience, if this is your first time with Mission Matters and you haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe or follow button. This is a daily show. You heard me correct. Each and every day, we're bringing you new content, new ideas, and hopefully new inspiration to help you along the way in your journey as well. So hit that subscribe or follow button. And Pranav, thanks again for coming on.
Thank you so much.